Hi there, ho there. It's your boy again, Yash on the speakers. And I'm here today with my boy, Darshan. Now, today's episode is about men's mental health in conjunction with Father's Day.
For Father's Day, we just wanted to do something very special. You know, there are lots of fathers out there that are doing plenty for their children. And this episode is aimed at men's mental health. And to be honest, even though we are like still young and we are not fathers, obviously, okay, um, but we understand what fathers go through. We understand what men go through in general. So we are going to talk about men's mental health and how it has been treated, within society, how it's looked at. So let's just start with society. So yeah, let's talk about like how society pushes the false idea that men need to bottle up their feelings. You know, do you have any like personal stories of that?
Yeah, I do actually. You see, this happened like a little while back. I went through a really tough time. And, you know, everyone, when I tried to reach out to a couple of my close buddies, the first thing I got from all of them was man up and just walk through it. You know, at the
Yeah,
time,
that term, that word "man up," right? It's the most common one among any male friends.
yeah. And in fact, it leads to a lot of people bottling up, men especially. It leads to a lot of us bottling up our emotions and not going to anyone because, the fear of being judged because we are going out to people for our problems. It's very extreme, if you ask me. A
Yeah,
little bit too extreme.
there are so many people that think it's a weakness for men to open up their feelings. If they're like feeling sad or I actually tried to tell my friends that I actually this really personal thing happened and I actually cried, and I thought my friends were okay if I say that, but apparently it wasn't. And they were like, "Oh, what the hell, man? You're a dude. You're not supposed to cry." And I'm like, "What?
Yeah,
That's not how you give moral support."
agreed. Now that's one thing which I agree that everyone, regardless of gender, needs, moral support there, a shoulder. Because if you look at it this way, people are gonna cry, regardless. We've all got feelings.
Yeah,
It's bound to happen.
yeah. I mean, okay. Let's take this example. Since it's Father's Day, right? Let's say a father, a single father, his child is like, passed away or something. So what are you going to say to the father? Are you going to say man up? Are you going to say that? Okay, that doesn't make sense, right? He's a
Even
man, right?
even if it's just a father in general, losing anyone in your family is very tough,
Yeah,
especially if it's
yeah,
your spouse or your child. It's very tough. And not just as fathers, but not just fathers, younger generations too. Like losing someone that is extremely close to you is something that I feel a lot of people need to take a little bit more seriously because,
yeah. I mean,
someone someone that was
I've
there for
been
you.
I've been through that. Actually, I lost my father in like 2013,
My
and
condolences.
that was a very hard time. Okay, and as the only guy in the family, like my mother and my sister, okay, I didn't have any like father figure. Okay, so I had to like go through things on my own. So obviously my mom became my my best friend. Okay, I always talk to her about things. So, but let me tell you something. If a woman, if my mother can like understand that I'm human, like I can cry, I can be sad, I can open up my feelings. Why can't other men do it as well? Like friends,
Yeah.
I've tried to talk to my friends about it, and they just whatever, man, you gotta be a man or some stuff like that. So it's like, yeah,
I feel like this is a thing. It's a stereotype that's been pushed on for generations that, You all need to buckle it up because you all are the breadwinners. I don't. In 2021, we can rival that and open up because we're all human at the end of the day. Break
Yeah.
past gender, break past society, break past social standings. We're all humans. You know.
Yeah, and if there's any young man or father or whoever you are, it doesn't matter your age. If you're a man and you are like down and you want to talk to somebody, just do it, okay? But do it to someone who understands, okay, who knows that it's okay to open up. It's sad to say that because usually we're all supposed to be accommodating to our friends, like when it comes to opening up and all that.
Yeah.
So in this day and age, you gotta choose who you talk to, and that's the sad reality, to be honest, and the sad truth. Okay, but we all believe that change will happen someday. So you know,
I mean, the idea of the toxic masculinity is being pushed throughout our own gender sometimes. It's something that we've got that it's gonna take a while for us to break free of. But I feel like, we're slowly getting there bit by bit.
yeah,
And
we were slowly getting there. I mean, okay, so if you guys like I say, if you guys want to talk, you can go ahead and actually message us at IACT or Parts Official. You can message us and talk to us, open up your about what you're going through. And to be honest, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Just message us, and we will be your moral support in however way we can.
yep, we're all here for you. All
Yes.
all of you dudes out there for men's mental health, everyone, we're all here for you. Doesn't matter, you could be male, you could be female, you could be a brick. We're all here for you.
Yep. Okay. So, um, yeah. So the idea of toxic masculinity being pushed by other men themselves, this is like a common theme with a lot of men's lives. Okay, we already said the term "man up" is just annoying as all hell. You know, it just pushes the toxic thing that you, like we already say, you can't open up your feelings, and it hurts a lot of us guys. To be honest, like it really cultivates like depression. It really cultivates the sadness that you feel when you're a man. Like you just want to open up. So it's hard, especially
Yeah,
when you have friends who just don't understand.
I agree very much. Now, it's not just that we have to worry about. I don't know if you've heard of this saying called men are trash.
Oh,
It's been going around on a lot of sites, especially
Twitter.
Twitter. Yes, very much.
Oh my god. Okay, yes. This term "man are trash." Yep, it is. I've heard it a bunch of times, and I've heard a lot of people who say that if the shoe doesn't fit, it's not you, right?
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
agree because um, when you say men are trash, it kind of invalidates the amount of things a man has to do. A man has to, put on his shoulder the responsibilities, that a man has. And all of this comes from society. Society is like, yeah, you're the breadwinner. You have to work hard. You have to take care of your wife, your children, and then if anything comes up, you have to protect them. You have to like just do everything, And when a man who like does his role as a father, a husband, a son, a brother, or whatever, and when he's walking down the street and he hears men are trash, how would he feel? How you imagine he would feel? He would obviously feel down as all hell, right?
yeah, very much because I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot of people who don't really recognize the fact that a lot of men do what they can. I mean, it's true. Some of them are trash. Not all. I mean, the ones who commit crimes, the ones who, even those who commit crimes, I can't really say that they're trash because there's always a reason behind action.
Yeah, yeah,
So
true.
you know,
But then it's not that we are like Like we
Yeah,
are validating their actions, obviously.
we
Okay,
we
whatever
can't.
the reason is, you
Yeah,
you
we can't
can't
say that
do.
a person is trashy. We can't say that a person is sorry. We can't say that men are trashy at all. It's mainly more of the individual. It's not really just the men.
Yeah, I mean,
And
there are also women who do the things men do. Okay, like I'm not okay. This is like pushing controversy, but it's true. Okay, there's like you can read loads of stories of abusive mothers, abusive like sisters, even women like murdering, hiring someone to murder their husband and stuff like that. Like that's you're
yeah,
still going to bring up gender. Like
they get away with the much. If you look at it, right, statistically, some of them get away with a much lighter sentence because they are seen as women. And even if you look at social media, not many people really push the really push a lot of these, because if they see this, they'd be like, oh, she probably had a reason. Someone's probably trash. This that.
yeah, yeah. It like okay, this is obviously good. Like in relationships, for example, if she cheats, it's the man's fault.
Oh my God, I've been there, brother. I've been there, and I understand that front, back, left, right,
I
man.
literally have had someone tell me that, okay, like the reason my ex left me was because I didn't take care of her. It's like, oh my God, listen, if you knew the things I did for her, you wouldn't be saying that, you
Oh
know?
my goodness, brother. I agree with you 110%. I mean, this is just a personal experience. I went through thick, thin, left, right, center when everything was happening, when she had her own problems, and I always shouldered my own on my quietly. I didn't tell her when I had my own problems. And then when she walked out that door, she didn't even give me a reason. But when I told a close friend, they just told me, bruh, it was probably your fault. You try to do everything. And I was like, nah, man.
Yeah, okay, how about you go and ask the other person what happened? Maybe get two sides of the story. Don't just be like, oh, you did it, it's your fault, you know?
Agreed. And
You
to
know,
be fair, I never got a reason as to why she left, and I don't think I ever will. But oh well.
oh well, life goes on either way.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's like even if a man did do wrong, it's his fault, obviously. If it's the girl's fault, it's still the man's fault. Like, what logic is that? It's like
Yeah.
someone explain to me what is the logic in that.
I mean, to me, it's the same. It's the same as the cereal and milk thing. Where you're either cereal first or milk first. It doesn't really make a difference to me. Breakfast is breakfast. Snack is snack. I'm gonna do it however
Exactly.
I want.
I don't know if anyone's gonna kill me for this, but sometimes I put cereal in a glass cup and then eat it from there. Hey, are you gonna kill
Oh
me because I
no.
didn't put it in a bowl?
Oh no, mate, you're gonna get cancelled for this.
I mean, men are getting cancelled either way, man. So, okay, so we are joking, but it is obviously an issue that we need to sort out.
Yeah,
So, speaking of women, there are actually women who are men's rights advocates. If you guys don't know
yeah.
what that is, they support men's rights. They support both sides. They want equal opportunities for both genders, right? However, we also have toxic feminists who would call them pygmies.
Yeah, I feel like
Where where do you draw the line? Like seriously, why do you need to be like everything is women's problems, women needs help? It doesn't matter. Okay, even men are going through shit, right? Like,
yeah.
why do you want to call a woman a pygmy if she's supporting a man? My
I mean,
mom is supporting me. Is she a pygmy?
agreed. Because if you look at it this way, um, what, what if you look at it this way, in feminism, there are men who support females too, and I mean, no one really says anything about that. But when it's the opposite way, why is everyone going after each other?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, wait. Okay, for those who don't know what a pygmy is, right? pick me is like someone who is supporting, let's say, a woman supporting a man, but she's supporting him for a reason, like for an advantage. You know, you guys can imagine, okay, what that is. You know, so yeah, for benefits basically. That's what pick me's are. You know, but women who support men's rights are not pick me's. Okay, especially when they are speaking facts. Okay.
Exactly. You're supporting something that you believe in. So that does not allow someone to call you names.
Yeah. Okay. And if I could give an example of a men's rights advocate who is a woman, there's actually this woman called Chloe Roma. I don't know
Oh
if you.
yeah, from the Roma Army on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She is like she speaks facts. Okay,
Yeah.
go
Straight facts.
search up Roma Army on YouTube. Watch her videos.
Straight
Every
out. I
single
was
one of her videos are facts. Okay, and she doesn't discriminate women. Okay, she wants equal. She only calls out the ones the toxic feminists that think all men should die or something. You know.
agreed. I know. I the thing is I do watch her. I was about to bring her up actually. She very much has a lot of facts and a lot of fair opinions. I will be honest. I'm not saying this because hey, I'm a men's right activist. I believe in equality and I believe that's how things should be. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and also like if you look at it this way, right? A lot of true feminism, right, is being overshadowed by the idea that all men are evil. You know, like
Yes. Yes.
I feel like that's a little bit,
That's
too
overkill.
far
That's
because
overkill. Like,
if you look at the backbones of what actual feminism is, they just wanted women to be equal to men, and in 2020, we can say that almost a lot of things are equal, if not all. I can't say all. I will say, you know, I will give you all a little bit of leeway here, and I'd like to hear I'd like to hear about it in the comments. Um, you know,
I
I
mean,
feel,
there is pockets of change happening, right? Like,
yeah, agreed. And but if you look at it this way, right, a lot of this is seen as a first world problem. Like a lot of today's feminism that's going around social media. Yeah, I mean, that's where it's gone today. A lot of it, it's been shadowed. Like if you want an example, right, there's a lot of TikTok videos that just
which the Chloe Roma calls out a lot of the time, you
yeah.
know?
And not just that, but it's all there's even Instagram accounts. This is just known as aesthetic feminism. You're not doing it because you believe in it. You're doing it because you want people to see you doing it, and they want it's all just basically a little bit of attention here and there.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are gonna attack me, and I'm no longer gonna be in the show after this, unfortunately. But I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is, and it's very different. Like for me, I do know a few people who have done this aesthetic thing, and when you really peel it back, right, you
Yeah.
notice that they've had some stuff happen to them here and there, and ever since then it wasn't really, some of them aren't really that serious. And apologies if you're listening to this, but a few of your problem, like someone stealing your pencil in third grade, doesn't
Oh,
really
okay. It's a
doesn't
man.
really count.
It's a man
Yeah,
who stole it.
just
Oh.
yeah, doesn't really count as it's something that simple. Man, I'm gonna get cancelled for this.
Okay. So,
Oh well, it doesn't matter. I'm not on Twitter anyways.
okay, nah. Okay, I was on Twitter as well, and I just couldn't stand the amount of the toxicity, man. Like, if you're a guy and you start saying shit, okay, you're done, boy. You're
They,
done on
if
Twitter.
you just feel like you woke up on the wrong side of the day and you want to have some fun, Twitter is the perfect place for it. Just jump on, and say something controversial. You don't have to agree with it. If you want to get cancelled, just do it. Twitter's the right place.
All you have to do is type the word P and post it, and people will think you're insinuating something.
Yep.
Yeah. It depends on you. Okay. If you think I'm insinuating something, okay, by just writing the word P, okay,
Yeah.
it's your problem. Okay. All right. So men's rights is basically seen as a trivial matter, right?
Yeah.
Because of the patriarchy system, which men are also like victims to. Okay, society tells us to do things, like a man is supposed to be a leader or something. It's like, no, that's just a view that has gone out of date.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like we're supposed to do things, but at the same time we're not supposed to do things too. It's like, we're put in such a tight cage sometimes, and there's not much freedom. I agree that there are some things that are a little bit out of date and no longer useful in 2021, like, men being on top and men being the sole providers of the house. I mean, I've seen houses where women are solely providers.
Yeah,
Like,
perfect
that's pure
example.
equality right there.
Yeah, perfect example is my mom. My mom is single. She's a single mom, and she's taking good care of us, right? Like, she's the leader of the family. Every time I want to do something, I have to ask her. Obviously, like, I can't just go and do it. Oh, I'm a man. No, nah, that doesn't work that way. So, it's like if I try to do something, she probably take a slipper and throw it at me. It's typical.
There was there was this case, right, on where there was this place called Brea College, right? In I apologize if I can't pronounce his name, right? I'm going to butcher it all the way. Warrnambool, right?
Uh,
They
okay.
were they actually told male students to apologize to the female students there on behalf of their gender. And you know, it I don't feel like that was right, because like one of the students there, 12-year-old boy, said that, he was year 7 at the time. He was just like feeling confused because, if you put young kids through this, they feel like, them being around is a problem. And which I feel like this in turn, the more and more you make guys feel like they are the problem for existing, right?
Yeah.
It's going to lead to a higher suicide rate, because no one wants to be around, because they're all seen as a problem and they're all seen as the main source. Because you're a male, you're a problem.
Yeah,
It
you're
leads to a much
basically
higher suicide rate.
you're basically putting it in their head at such a young age that you're supposed to be like you're supposed to apologize that you even exist because you're a man. That's just like that's really bad. That's like really cold thing to do.
You're stripping a person of their pride. I mean, if this college, if this place, right, this learning facility, if they were to make the female students do it, I feel like it would have blown up all over the world and they would have been cancelled or shut down.
Yeah,
But
true.
because it's a men's issue, a lot of, it was reported on 7 News, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of people sided with the school because they were just like, yeah, they're male, it's an issue. But it does lead to a lot of problems in the long run.
True. I mean, it's really like it's everybody's issues. Okay, it's not just a man. Okay,
Yeah.
I honestly I'm kind of speechless because just imagine you have to apologize because you're a man. Holy shit, dude. Nah.
Yeah, that was just, I mean, that was unacceptable. And in 2016, right, the
Yeah.
suicide rate for males was like, oh my goodness, it was like 7.8%, while female it was like 3.2. Much higher, much
Oh.
higher. And like England and Wales, for instance, right, in
Yeah.
2020 they recorded like 16.9% of male suicides. And that's bloody high. Like since the year 2000. Like, and what's the population of like England in 2020? Their population was what, 67 million?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
around that. Yeah,
I feel like that was a little bit, that I feel like that really proves a point. A statistic like that really shows a lot.
yeah, and you're furthering adding that number by but like how that school did apologizing, like, if
Yeah.
because you're a man.
It, I mean, there's a lot of activities. Like if we follow the trend of toxic feminism, right? It,
Yeah,
it could lead to a lot of it could lead to a much higher rate of suicide because we're all seen as a problem. So why should we exist? Because a lot of if you look at it, a number of laws are in favor of women, especially. So, and like even if you look at, you know, the bodies that people can turn to if they're going through like a lot of if they need mental help, for instance. Like there's a ton for women around, but for male, I don't really see a lot for men.
yeah, I mean, you have a lot of men who are like wrongly convicted, false accusations, you know.
Yeah, and
That's even worse. Just imagine like you're going about your day, you know and suddenly a girl just comes out on social media and says that you did something to her when you don't even know who she is.
I have a little bit of personal experience with a close friend going through this. You know, man was working. He had a job in an office, and he was just starting out life. He got the job he wanted, after his college, and we were all very happy for him. And unfortunately for him, um, a girl did go out on Twitter, and it was sorry, it was not Twitter, mind me, it was Instagram, but it was someone that he knew, and she did come out and say all this. It was his ex-girlfriend, and
Damn.
unfortunately for him, one of his bosses got hold of this, and you know it was just accusations. It wasn't even There was no evidence. It was proven
Mm.
as false later on. It was proven as false, but the man still lost his job, and a lot has happened because all it takes is one false accusation, and everything's already over for you. I mean, his life was just starting out for him, and he's now slowly trying to get back on his feet because
Mm.
it was a very hard few months for him trying to break everything. And you know it really does make a lot of people change their thought process about you. So I would
Yeah,
urge to everyone, before you make false accusations, this is for anything. Before you make false accusations, always think twice in the long run, because you're not just going to make a person look bad, but you're going to destroy their future very much further than you think.
I
And B,
agree.
because it's a
Yep.
false accusation, you're gonna get caught very much faster. Because you've got
Yep.
no evidence, nothing, you're gonna get caught. So I'd suggest you quit while you're ahead and don't start.
And also, if that accusation that you have is like very serious, go to the police.
Yeah,
Do
because
not go on social media and start spreading this news. Like, social media isn't gonna get you the police. Okay, you have to go to the police yourself and report it. Okay.
social media isn't the law, ladies and gentlemen. If you ask me, social media is not the law. It will never be the law. The law is the law itself, police, and
Yes.
the judge, the jury. Those are the law, not social media.
Yeah.
And I will be the first to say to anyone going through any of these allegations, if you hear this, we're all here for you. We're- You
Yeah.
know, we know you're going through a tough time. Just know that there are people who are willing to listen to you. We're all here for you. All
Yeah.
right?
Because we are actual sensible people who look at the evidence instead of just accusations.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter if that person accusing is like one of the most revered person in the family or among their friends. We're still going to look at, did this really happen? We're going to ask that question
Yeah.
basically.
I mean, it was very heartbreaking because I knew this person for quite a while, and you know, it was very heartbreaking because you know a person for so long, and they're the nicest people, and then suddenly you doubt yourself for a short moment because of what you hear. Like
Mhm.
for me, I didn't really doubt it because I knew him even before he knew this girl. So I knew everything that went on, but it was tough to back him up, especially when people on social media were trying to push other people, especially their close friends, to denounce them and push them down,
Yeah,
and it really sucks.
yeah, it really does. Like if you have that one friend who knows you from like in and out and knows that you didn't do this, and then their lives also get disturbed by other people, right?
Yeah. To be
They
fair,
can't live a normal life anymore because on social media you have people DMing them threats and stuff like that. So
yeah.
yeah,
And everything loses its, you really lose grip of the situation when it reaches your family's ears and your family believes them, unfortunately. Even though there's no proof, if your family hears this, you're done. Your main support is down.
yeah. So
And
you really got to think about it when like even if you're not making accusations and you're even when you're insinuating something, you know, that's already poisoning the image of the person, you know. So try
and
not to do all those things because it can really ruin a person's life. Okay, this is not just for men. Okay,
this is speaking for people in general.
yes. Okay, don't
And
go around calling women the S word. You know what I mean.
yeah,
Do
I
not
understand.
do that. Okay,
And
that's yeah, that will destroy her life as well.
yeah,
So it
this
doesn't.
generally tampers with people's insecurities. And like, since we're on the topic of insecurities right now, like, one of the thing I feel like people really push a little bit too far is you know when you see all the guys on Instagram, like the people that are really popular, the men especially, they have
Yep.
really muscular and really built bodies, and their chins are so sharp, their jawline is so sharp it could cut a paper in half. So it could cut a piece of paper in half. But
Yeah.
you know that really pushes the standard so far up. And I feel like, you know I feel like that's one of the insecurities a lot of guys have, how they're built. That's what leads to a
Yeah.
lot of guys being the way they are. They see what girls like, and they're like, oh, okay, this guy looks like this guy looks like that. I need to look like that, then everyone will like me. And
Yeah.
then they
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
building
True.
themselves up. Little
Yeah.
bit of personal point, right? When I was 16, right? I was extremely insecure about how people looked at me, right? I was extremely insecure, and I didn't like how a lot of my at the time friends treated me, because I was I wasn't really the most built. I was actually kind of a kind of skinny guy, wasn't. And a lot of my friends were like, at the time, a lot of the guys that I knew were built like crazy, and they just made fun of me because I was the softest in the entire group. Like, all of them would have some sort of record of them breaking shit or something like that. And then
Oh
you've got
yeah. Yeah. I.
then you've got me, who was the softest and the most caring out of all of them. And I really got ridiculed for that. So when I was 16, I started building up myself, and there was a point where I was almost properly built, like I was working up to that stage. And then I realized, why am I doing this? I'm just doing this to please them.
You're
They
doing it to please other people. Yeah.
And I realized, I was like, those people aren't really the best of people, because all they look at is the size of your muscles. They don't look at your character. They don't look at any of that. And suddenly, I realized I need new friends, which I did get new friends. And to be honest with you, I'm not built now. I will be honest. I'm not built now. I'm kind of chubby.
Oh
I'm
my
sitting on the
man.
chubbier side. And straight up, I've learned to be a lot more comfortable with myself, because I've embraced the fact that I am going to be me. I'm going to be the individual that I want to be, and not, what everyone wants me to be. I'm not going to be what society sees, like, oh, if you're a man, you need to be built like this, you're built like that. I ain't going to look at it that way. No, no, no. If I'm me, I'm going to be me. If I want to be round, I'm going to be round. If I want to be square, I'm going to be square.
Yeah, I've experienced the exact same thing. Okay, I am not a muscular person at all. If you've seen me in real life, you'd probably compare me to a polar bear. Okay,
Mm.
I have a tummy. Okay, it's like I want to say dead body. You've seen like this dead
Yeah,
body, right?
yeah.
That have tummies and they just look like bears.
Yep.
That's exactly how I look like.
To
But
to be fair, I actually am at the entry level of being a dad bod actually. So I mean, I understand that feeling, my G.
yeah, so when we all look like this and we see people, like especially when girls or men, you know, they like promote this idea, oh, you have a great muscular body, you're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that cool person ends up being a terrible person.
Yeah, because they have what people want. They know they have what people look for in a person. So they're like, I'm gonna stick to that. I think I'm gonna go there. And then next thing you know, when reality hits and you find out they're a piece of shit, next thing you know, everything's gonna go south for you, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
oops.
I mean, there are countless TikTok videos that degrade men from a physical standpoint. Like I've seen countless TikToks where the girls, okay, I gotta point this out because to be honest, that's all I see. There are so many girls who would like to bring up the size of a man's D.
Yes. How
Okay.
it's not really the size of a man's D, but I mean, to be safer, you could say it's the length of a man rather than the height. But yeah, unfortunately, that I mean, it is something that I am glad I don't really have to deal with, because
Well,
straight up, my
you
character makes up for most of me. So I'm a one trick pony. But at the end of the day, a character matters more.
it's an insecurity that a lot of men have, and when you see women and all these people talk about it, it makes you feel like that's all you are. That's all they look at, you know.
Yeah,
And
and
that's not really the truth. And to all my brothers out there, you're not just that. You're not just they're not people are not just gonna look at your D.
people are not just gonna look at your length, brothers.
Yes, it doesn't matter as long as you have like said the personality to back it up. You're awesome. Go
Yeah,
celebrate.
you
Grab a pint of beer or something.
you
Go
will
and enjoy
always be
yourself.
you will always belong to us, brothers. Doesn't matter about anything else. You will always belong to us, and you will always have the best personality. Hey, you're listening to this podcast right now. You have the greatest personality.
Yes, you're considered cool. Give yourself a good clap. All right. So let's talk about careers that men would go go for. Like when you talk about careers for men, all you think about is engineering, right? Engineering, doctor, what
Yeah,
else? All the
very
manly
true.
jobs, right? Manly.
Very
I'm putting bunny ears there. Okay. Like a woman can do that as well. So it doesn't really prove anything. But
agreed.
let me tell you something. Men who like like to dance, it doesn't matter what kind of dance, ballet dancing, okay, or whatever. Men who are makeup artists, men who are hairstylists, men who are whatever a girl does are still men. Okay. They're not any lesser than that. Okay. That really needs to be driven home.
Agreed. Just because your voice is high pitched does not mean that you are any less of a man. Just because your body isn't built doesn't mean you're any less of a man. And it goes the same for your line of work or your passions. It doesn't
Exactly.
mean that you're any less of a man. You are who you want to be at the end of the day. If you want to be an attack helicopter, that's up to you. And you know, to me, I agree with this. I agree with this. I have had a couple of friends who have become hairstylists and makeup artists. And to be fair, they are the people who are very detailed with their work.
Mm.
And I'd say this I can say is that you may laugh at it from outside. Oh, it's just doing makeup. Oh, it's just doing hair. You should see the amount of detail and the amount of concentration they have to put in. It will blow all of your workouts out of the water because look, you're built like crazy, but you can't focus as hard as that man.
Yeah, I
Right
mean,
there.
anyone can lift weights, my bro. Like anyone can go to the gym and start lifting weights, start to look jacked, start taking those, steroid stuff, anyone can do it, okay? But when you talk about dancing, when you talk about like doing makeup, doing people's hair, that's
It's
not
a
something
skill.
anyone can do. Okay,
It's a skill. It's a skill.
it's a
Straight up
skill. If a
skill.
person, if a hairstylist f's up your hair, who do you blame? The
Straight
hairstylist.
up the hairstylist. I agree. I mean, if you look at it this way, my hairstylist, yes, I do style my hair. I am still a man. I am what I am. And
Exactly.
yes, I do have a hairstylist. And yes, he is a guy. And he is manlier than me. He knows how to do my hair very well, and I like that. He's a very good guy.
Yeah,
If you're out there, Steven, I'm gonna call you Steven now. If you're out there, my brother, this goes out to you. You always make my hair look good. Thanks, Maji.
yeah. And I've actually also met people who thinks singing isn't a guy's thing. Let that sink in.
Oh my goodness. That's very sad. Have you all ever heard Michael Bublé?
Yes, and
That's the best kind of voice you want to hear when you go to sleep. Not
yes,
gonna lie,
exactly.
very
Dude's
calming.
voice is like, oh man, it's like an angel. That's so cliche to say, but it's true.
If
It's like God's just like go to earth and show your talent, and he did it. That
yeah,
that's his
agreed.
voice.
If if there ever was an angel that had to come and meet me one day, if he does not have the voice of Michael Bublé, I will not believe that it's an angel. Straight up.
Okay, so I think this podcast has been going on for too long already. We
Yeah,
can go
agreed.
on and on.
Yeah,
Right? We can
I
go.
could go on and on about Michael Bublé's voice all I want, ladies and gentlemen. And well, unfortunately, we have to cut this short, or we'd be here for the next 2 weeks. So, with that said, thank you very much for tuning in this month. Make sure to give a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and also remember to comment because it helps with the algorithm. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at IACT Parts Official. You know, make sure you tune in next week. We'll have something very special in line for all of you. We're having guests joining us in next month's episode because we are going to talk about